continuous solving puzzle. We shall solve 10 puzzles each time, trying to think like in a real game, not like this is a puzzle, but we shall train chess like in real games, train our thinking process and play just like in a real game, no matter how many we will solve correctly here. So let's get started. First one, it's an obvious threat on our rook here. Of course, if we move, okay, it's our bishop is not hanging even if we move the rook because queen protects, and there is no other direct threats by the opponent here. Maybe it's a little threat, double attack on our pawn here if we don't move the rook carefully. Okay, let's now see our opportunities. Here on the queen side, we don't have much to do. So, what should be our candidate moves? Okay, sacrificing the rook for no purpose at this point. I don't see a point of this one. Maybe pushing the pawn here. But then, of course, the rook is obviously hanging. We do not have much here. I don't think that we have a useful move with the queen either at this point. So it remains moves with the rook and the bishop, I guess. But if we move the rook, then the bishop is hanging. Of course, I already said that the queen protects the bishop, but where I can move the rook here? If I attack the queen, then pawn takes. And then we will have this opportunity to put the rook here. But we don't win the queen immediately. It's not a clear pin because our bishop is here. So what to do with the bishop? And actually, if we do this and pawn takes. Our bishop is also under attack. Okay, not easy, this one. Okay, maybe I can sacrifice the rook, but so if black takes the rook and we take with the pawn, we attack the queen. We need to move the queen first because our queen will be under attack. Of course, queen is also important in protecting the bishop. So I can't see much here in this puzzle. I shall probably miss this one. Can I do this? No, I can. I, I don't think that I can first sacrifice the rook here because then I cannot move the bishop along this diagonal. If I take the pawn, queen takes, and then I have a check here, but king can run here or here. Can I move the bishop first? I don't know. But where to move with some threat? If I move it here, of course, rook can take. As I said, queen will always be able to go here if we lose this file for the rook. Oh, so moving this rook or this bishop is a candidate moves, but also putting another rook here seems attractive now. Okay, but if I do this, if I lose this rook, what can I do? I cannot move the bishop somewhere because queen will escape here. Also, if I take the pawn, queen can escape. I really can't see anything better than trying this move. No, it's not the right move. Pushing the pawn, yeah, I really can't see this one. Maybe even some further sacrifice. No. Okay, I shall take the hint. This one is okay, it's a move with this rook, but I missed something here. Can this be the move? No. Simply protecting this pawn. Wow. Okay, I need to learn a lot. Now it's easy. Now queen is hanging. I simply give the check and win the queen. Okay, this was a somewhat difficult puzzle. Okay, but it's a good training. So here black is attacking our bishop twice here. Also our pawn is hanging here. But we also have some threats here. But not so many. Maybe sacrificing this. Maybe sacrificing this rook here. Oh, this is not a sacrifice. This is a clear check. And pawn is pinned. Pawn cannot take this. So rook g8 is the only move. This actually seems very attractive. But I don't know how to proceed. So check and king runs. And attacks our rook here. Maybe. Maybe we can also at some point move the... Okay, we cannot move this bishop right now because it is pinned. So okay, back king runs. If I sacrifice the rook, I can do this, but king can run again here. I don't have a time to cover this. Square. And also if I do this, king will simply take. Of course, then I can give a check, but king will run here or here. And I already lost the rook. So this one is also difficult. Okay, let me see once again. If I give a check, king runs. I can sacrifice the rook here. Actually protecting this bishop also here, but king will take the rook. Actually, I can also move the rook here. Also protecting my bishop here and attacking this pawn for the second time. And that actually seems like a good attack here. I can't see a clear continuation. Let me see this. And then if, for example, black attacks our rook here, of course, we can take the pawn with the check. King needs to go here. Okay, I can't do better this. I shall try this move. And this was somehow correct because our threat is bigger than I was managed to see actually here. I didn't see clear checkmate here because now I will simply take this rook. I guess I was not able to see the potential finish for this attack if king was running or just staying here. Okay, now I shall take the rook and now I shall take another rook. Interesting enough. Okay, moving to the next one. Okay, this should be pretty easy. We have a passed pawn here. So just check, taking the rook. And we have a passed pawn, and I guess black is not fast enough. We have our king here. Maybe we need to be a little bit careful. Maybe first okay. If I do this, for example, this, rook takes, king takes. King is in the square of this pawn. So I need to move the pawn. But actually, king is here on the diagonal of the promoting square. And if black pushes, we have time to put our king. Okay, maybe. Actually, we can simply push, I guess. Because if black will waste the time with the king move, we promote first. Okay, let me try this one and this one. And now I don't think that I'm fast enough with them. I don't think that I'm fast enough with the king move. Putting, for example, on c1, preventing promotion. I have nothing with this. And after my pawn push, if king goes here, we are faster in promoting. So here, 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 here. Okay, and we actually need to move the king. Okay, so it's not that clear. Okay, maybe. Maybe black will promote first. So I guess that we need to do this first. Although black will go for our, but we cannot allow this because king will go for our pawn. Oh no, king cannot go here because of our pawn. Okay, so we have time to put the king first here. And we are fast enough to promote now. Okay, okay, this was great. Next one. Next one. Oh well. Black is attacking fearlessly. Actually, black is a piece up at the moment. Attacking also our rook here. So our obvious move is to take the pawn with the check. We are also covering this diagonal, so king can go only here or here. But then we can simply give a okay. If here we will give a check here, and actually after king here we have a mate. So after this move, black actually needs to go here to the corner. But then we have this check and it's over. King goes here, we go here and checkmate on h7 again. So this should be the solution here. I don't have anything else here. We are down material and in tough position around our king. So we need to go for this. Okay, I didn't consider this move, but now this is probably the toughest defense for the black. I guess that we can we if I give the check, black will take, we take, but we cannot mate just with the queen, and this pawn is still 3 squares from the promotion, and it's rook also controlling the last rank. So I guess that I probably need to give a check here. But if black covers this, how should I continue? Yeah, I can go back hoping for some perpetual. Maybe is this solution? I don't think that I'm fast enough with something like this. Because black will protect like this. And I can't see a continuation here. Well, nice defense. I can't see the move here. Really can't see this move here. I shall try this. No. What I should do here? This shouldn't be enough, of course. This, of course, defends even like this. Maybe this one. Interesting enough. I was thinking about this move, but again, can black could defend here? I didn't see this. Now I just take the queen, but why is black playing like this? Okay, doesn't matter. We move on. So it seems losing. I cannot move the bishop. Queen takes c2, threatens checkmate. And I just need to find some forcing resource to save this game. I don't have time for this one, of course. I will get mated. So maybe this one. Now king needs to go here. If I go back, I have only repetition. Or even king goes here. But anyway, at most repetition. So after this and this, I can try to give a check. Taking with the king is only move. Okay. What to do now? Should I simply go for the repetition? Now I can, if I go here, king will go back here. I can give a check, but at most repetition. After this, and king takes, I can give a check here. Then king will go here. King will go here. What to do next? Maybe I can then push another pawn, but king can either run or even take the pawn. Of course, then we can take the pawn with the check, but king can run again. I am not sure how to win this. Okay, I shall try this because I have no options here actually. Okay, of course, check on f6 just goes for the king back and for the repetition. I will simply push the pawn. I will do this in the real game here. And now maybe repetition is just enough here. I have checks here, here, and probably repetition is just good enough here. I cannot move the bishop. Of course, let me once again calculate. If I go here, king will go here. Actually, I don't know what to do. Actually, I don't know what to do. I shall just go for the repetition here, for the draw here. Okay, and that's it. So next one. Okay. Of course, black is attacking too. My knight is pretty much hanging here. If black takes, I cannot take with the pawn. I am check. I am lost. Queen takes f2. As I can take with the queen. If then queen takes, I can also take, and if rook takes, now I can take. But it's scary actually. Actually, I have nothing much here than somehow going for the black's king, because black's king is actually exposed somewhat here. So how to attack the king on h7 here? We are also a little bit down in material. So what can we do here? Maybe Maybe this pawn put here. Maybe. Because then we have rook h2. Check. But also queen can go here with the check. Black's queen can go here with the check. So after this, we cannot cover with the rook, because then rook will simply take on f4 and our rook is spin. So what can we do else? Check, queen will take. We take, but check. I don't think that we have something here. I don't know. I don't know. I will try to fight with g4 here. And actually, this is really good. This is really good. But what can I do now? Okay, let me see. If I put the king here or here, I close my rook, I close my queen. Can I indeed go for this? And then if rook takes, we have some checks here. or even here. Actually, I can take the queen. So probably it's not the this is probably a good option. And when queen moves, I can at least play this and win the rook. So I'm not sure. I will try to cover with the rook here. Yes, and black actually resigns here because now gives up the queen, and now I have nothing else to do. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Okay, this is a messy position completely. But actually, this can be easy if we notice key moves here, key threats here. Of course, black is threatening this. This is the most direct threat. This is immediate checkmate. What else? Also, and many other threats here. So we shall need, we shall try to see our threats to the king on f8. This probably doesn't do because black can take. Maybe even better with the rook because those two knights are in coordination. Actually, it can be a move in some occasions, but what I don't achieve anything here. So the most attractive move is, of course, queen a8. Okay, but after that, yeah, I guess that covering with the bishop doesn't help because we also have this bishop here, so we can simply take with a check. If queen takes with a retake, and we won a piece. So after this move, we need to consider king to king to a to g7, king to g7. Okay, we also have one other interesting move. immediate rook e8. So after immediate rook e8, so knight controls the square, king to g7 is forced. King to g7 is forced now. Let me see. So this move is forced, and now we also have, so should we first this, and then knight here, check, pawn cannot take because of the pin. Okay, this is difficult to calculate everything. But maybe I really need the queen here on the 7th rank. And then I have really many options, but I can't see clear continuation here. This. I probably can't simply check with the bishop. Either queen takes or here. At least king can go here, protecting the rook here. So I guess that this, and really this can be a good option. If queen takes, I will simply take the queen. Still having the rook pawn on f7 under pin. And what else can black do? But black now loses either the rook here or bishop here. I guess this is the move. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. Also, this knight protects this bishop. Okay, not sure, but I will try something like that. Okay. What happens if I first take the rook? King takes. King takes. But I can't see clear path here. I shall try to give the check here. And this was really it. And black is now helping me. So what? I will now simply take the queen, and actually even black cannot recapture because of the pinned pawn on f7, and other pieces do not attack the e6 square. So I will simply take the queen, and I'm okay here. Okay, moving on. Okay, I'm really slow today. I'm improving. Still solving most of the puzzles, and I'm improving in rating. But as you can see, I'm really slow. I'm really slow in solving puzzles and actually understanding chess positions. So that is actually the purpose of this videos, trying to help people who cannot improve fast. We need to go slowly and consistently, and there is no fast way for improving here. Okay, and now black simply threatens to take the pawn here. At some point, maybe the rook here. At some point also here. At some point also some jumps mid the knights. Okay, but do we have better threats here? That is the question. That is the real question. What can we do here? Maybe our threat at some point is even to sacrifice this rook. Doing this now, I'm not sure. Because I cannot go with the immediate check because of... Okay, maybe... But no, I can't do that. Once I can take this pawn. But I have nothing on this G file, so I'm not sure. Probably I need some preparation first. What to consider? Maybe to take this rook first. Maybe to take this knight first. Maybe at some point move the queen here, threatening here and here. That could be a potential. That could be a potential threat actually here. Not so easy. So taking the rook first, the rook takes. Okay, maybe if I now take the bishop with the bishop here, queen can take and protect this square. Maybe the right move order is here to take the rook, preventing black taking first on c1. Rook takes, then take with the second rook here. Now pawn needs to take. And then we take here. And no matter how black takes with the queen or with the pawn, we now have queen g4 check and attacking this rook. Well, I'm not sure if this is solution. In such position, it's easy to miss some details. But I will try this. I have nothing else to do. In my real game, I will try this, even if it doesn't work. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay. Okay, this will be check. And actually, again, check. I need to be careful of this move, but I'm doing everything with checks now. So I'm not going with the queen first, but now queen protects this. So I'm going to take the knight first. So far, so good, as planned. It seems that I'm simply winning the rook with this move now. Okay, later on I shall check the rating of this puzzle. This is probably one of the most difficult I solved so far. Maybe not, but for me this was difficult because I need to see multiple things here. Okay, two more for today. I understand that I'm tired after let's say 5 puzzles, so I'm go even slowly now, not making mistakes like the last time. So okay, let me do the next one. And actually, what is black doing here? Okay, our pawn is hanging. Black also has some checks. But also his king is much weaker than ours, so how to react on this? So far king can go only, well, okay, so far king can go only here. Here I cannot sacrifice the queen here because now pawn takes, and after this king runs, and I think that I have nothing. Okay, let me try then this check here. Now I'm covering this square, but now king can go here. Hmm. Hmm. Probably doesn't work. Maybe it will. Okay, if queen takes. Yeah, I can. If queen takes, it's not good for black at all because it loses the queen. I can now go with the check and king cannot go here or here. Black is losing the queen. So after this move, king needs to take. This is also an interesting option. But pawn on d5 is protected well still, even after moving the king to b4. And so what? Maybe to consider this rook sacrifice. Now queen can take. I don't know. This is the most. I still think that the most attractive move here is this one, and king will go here. And now I don't think that I can sacrifice the piece here, that I have anything after that. So maybe after this move and this move, I need to go here. And now king can go either here or back here. If back here, I checkmate with this move. I check with this move. So after this, black needs to go here. Okay, and then I can check here. Black needs to go here. But then okay, I'm a little bit confused here because now I cannot take because my rook doesn't protect me on c7. Okay, now this pawn is pinned, and so I can actually do this move. Okay, and then king can go only here. And then I can take the pawn with the check. And then king can go here. Okay, not easy, but I will try something like that. I will try to give the check here. And now I will try to give check here. Okay, and that was not correct this time. So what is better here actually? What is actually better here now? Why this is not correct? So I shall take the hint. So it's still a queen move, but okay. Maybe to the back rank. It's really this, but okay, but king was supposed to go here also. Okay, but I missed some combinations. Now I shall probably. Okay, now it's easy. Now I give the check, and then I give the check. No, I was too quick here. So just this one. Now this is a checkmate. Interesting enough. And the last one for today. The last one for today will be okay. I need somehow to attack on this weak diagonal. I guess probably covering also g1 square somehow. White also will have some threats. For example, this one, knight e7. So how to proceed with this? Maybe the first move is then just to remove that piece. Exchange sacrifice here. If white accepts, we have actually queen takes the pawn with the check. Covering doesn't help because of our pawns. Actually, maybe only covering with the queen. We can also think on this move, attacking the queen. Also now knight e7 doesn't help, we simply take. We now blocked that e-file. But what if after this move white simply moves the queen, what we have after that? Hmm. I don't think that I have time for something like this. What else do we have here? Taking the rook, just exchanging pieces? I don't think so. I don't think so. I prefer either just this one, but after this and queen takes, and rook takes. Now a king goes to g1. Maybe this is the threat. We are threatening. Actually, not a clear mate still. So take, take, take. Okay, maybe still covering with the queen. Okay, maybe still covering with the queen. And also if there are some escape squares for the king. Okay, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe the better move is really this one, attacking on the queen. Although I can't see the continuation here. But it doesn't. Queen will move. We can exchange a pair of rooks. But actually, we threaten nothing here. But also later we have, if we sacrifice the rook here, we also have this move later on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This seems more promising, and it is. This really seems more promising here, but can we continue here? Okay, I will go with the obvious move. Check. Okay, as I said, I expected this one. Expected this one. I expected this one. I shall probably go for this. What can black do? White do. If white takes, we take with the check and rook here and another bishop here. It seems like a checkmate to me. And what else can black do? Maybe some waiting move for them. Maybe some waiting move, but then also we have this pawn push, provoking this pawn to take or to move. That this doesn't protect the queen anymore. I'm not sure. Taking immediately achieves nothing, seems to me. White can protect that pawn. If we exchange queens this way, actually we have two bishops for the two rooks and it doesn't looks dangerous anymore. I will try this one. Okay, now this is end. This is now end because white helped me. White needed to do some waiting move, not to take my queen. Now I am checkmating. Now it's easy. Okay, almost. I still need to be careful. I still didn't see this move happening. I still didn't see this move, but now 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 I will put my pawns. My bishops are very strong here. Rook is pinned. Okay, another rook can check here at some point, but we will have some moves. It's not clear, but if I just take and white takes, white is just safe. Here I would say, so I shall not do that. I shall try this one. And it's good. Okay, as you can see, I needed 1.5 hours to solve 10 puzzles, actually missing 3 of them. So solving 7 out of 10, which is actually not bad. I actually achieved my new record in puzzle rating, but actually we shall continue to practice. I shall try to solve 5 puzzles each day, and then once a week to meet with all of you to solve together like this. So trying to improve. It's not easy. Um, Especially if you don't have a great visualization of the board and the piece play. So I managed to get most of the ideas correct, but I'm pretty slow in thinking all of that. But I will not. It it feels for sure doesn't help trying to do some quick and blitz solving and blitz games to improve this simply doesn't work for serious chess. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.